Hey guys, it's Lydia here. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a total core workout for our last video of my September workout challenge. So for the whole month of September, I have been posting workouts, and today is the last workout because it's the last day of September. Don't worry if you want to do this challenge any other time of the year, any other month, or just slowly go through it, not working out every single day. You can still do that. I have the whole playlist up on my channel, so you can go check that out. But for today's video, we're going to be doing a total core workout. How this is going to work, it's going to be so much fun. What we're going to do, we have 6 basic exercises that we're going to be doing for 3 rounds. However, the first round, I'm going to keep them like super basic. So we're going to be doing a plank, some sit-ups, side planks, crunches, really basic things. Then for the second round, we're going to switch it up. We're going to do a side plank instead. We're going to be doing, you know, I don't know, all the things are written down over here. Basically, we're going to make it slightly different so that instead of just doing a basic move every other time, we're going to be like plank. All right, next one, we're going to do plank dips. All right, next one, we're going to do mountain climbers. We're going to make it fun and different. So every single round you're on your toes, even though you kind of generally know what the move is going to be. So yeah, we have 3 rounds, like I said. We have a quick warm-up and a quick cool-down. But yeah, let's dive in. We're going to start with a warm-up. I'm going to start with some cross-body punches because they're my favorite. So here we go. Bring your hands up guard and just punch across your body. Lifting up your heel. When you punch, give yourself a little more room. Really keep your abs in tight here, that way they can get nice and warmed up. Sorry if this lighting is really, really bright. Now I'd like to see, comment below if you feel like you want another one of these challenges. I think it'd be really fun to do another one. Probably not like right away because it was kind of hard to film, but soon. Alrighty, relax. So we got a quick 15-second break because we always do 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. Next one, we're going to do this little thing. It's kind of like a standing crunch. So what you're going to do, you're going to lean forward slightly, arch your back so that your abs are engaged. You're going to crunch from side to side. And we're just going to do that. So you should feel kind of like a crunch, kind of like you're doing a crunch on the ground, but it's slightly different obviously because you're standing. And you're really just going to crunch down on either side each time. Keep those abs in tight. You don't want to just go through the motion because this can be super easy if you just go through the motion. So this is meant to just kind of warm up your abs, warm up your low back a bit. Alrighty, relax. Okay, so for this next one, we're going to bring the heart rate up with some high knees. I really like bringing the heart rate up in a warm-up just to kind of get that blood flowing, get it all movement loose, even if you're not going to do an actual cardio workout. So here we go. If you don't want to do actual high knees, you can always take it to either like a jog, or you can just do some like non-jumping ones and still go really fast. Some non-jumping high knees modified. Relax. Alrighty, so for the last move, we're going to do the inchworm. I've done it a few times. Basically, stand at the top of your mat, walk down till you go into a plank, then come up, stand up. Alright, I'm going to go to this side, make it a little bit different. Here we go. So when you get to that plank, you can hold it for a second and just kind of brace those abs, get the feeling of the plank. now we're gonna go down to the ground and we're gonna do a bunch of fun moves. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be fun. So let's head down to the ground. So sorry if the lighting's really bad. Like I said, it's a little bit later than I normally film, so lighting's a bit different. But we're gonna start off the round. Like I said, we're doing 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. We're gonna start with a plank, and for this plank you can either have it on your hands or on your elbows. I like them on my elbows. I think it just kind of works my abs a bit more. So here we go. Come up to that plank. You're just going to hold it for 45 seconds. If you're a beginner, you can drop down to your knees whenever you feel tired, especially if your upper body isn't really strong. But try to push yourself. Don't just be like, oh, I'm a beginner, I'm going to drop down to my knees. Try to hold it as long as you can and then go down to your knees for just a few seconds and then come back up. In a plank, it's very important to have good form, so you don't want your hips sticking up at all, even just a little bit. It can be really easy. Also, at the same time, you don't want them dipping down. You want them nice, straight line. Alrighty, relax. Whew. Okay, so next up, we have some basic crunches just lying on the ground. Your knees bent. We're just going to crunch so that you bring your shoulder blades off the ground and then go down. Here we go. I feel like basic moves like this, they like almost get neglected, you know? You do so many different variations and stuff like that. It's fun to just kind of come back to the basics. Relax. So for this next one, we're going to do some sit-ups. These ones are just a little bit harder than a basic crunch. So here's how you're going to do it. You're going to have your hands behind your head, sit all the way up, and come all the way down. If that's really hard, use your arms and kind of propel yourself to come up and down. It's not like a ton of momentum, but just, you can tell a big difference from putting your arms behind your head and then putting your arms in front of you. It helps a lot. So if you're a beginner or whatever, it's a good modification. And try to go down slowly. It's a fun challenge. Don't just go down really fast. Alrighty, relax. I feel like that went by pretty fast. Alrighty, next up we got some side planks. This is gonna be fun. Here we go. Alrighty, come on up and hold it. And like before, you could do a side plank on your hand, and that really increases the balance challenge. So, you know, if you feel a lot extra that day, totally go onto your hand instead of on my elbow like I'm showing here. But I feel like elbow is just kind of a good place to start. And like I said, if you're a beginner, if you want to take a quick break, go onto your knee. Also, another good modification is to have your legs crossed in front of you. So I have my feet stacked, as you can see. But if you want to make it a little bit easier, have one foot in front of the other. It gives you a little more support in your plank. Ready, relax. That was kind of hard to talk. Alright, let's do the other side. Alrighty, come on up. Remember, just pick the modification variation that's best for you. I like being on my elbow with my feet stacked, but do whatever is right for you and your body. feeling it in that oblique right here, side of your abs. Keep holding and relax. Whew, alrighty. Next up, we got some reverse crunches. These ones are fun. Alrighty, so come onto your back. All we're gonna do is you're gonna lift your hips off the ground and then come down, or you don't have to. You can just go like up and down with your legs, but if you lift your hips off the ground a bit, it really increases the challenge. And you just tap your toes down and then come back up. Or, you know, no lifting your hips, it's still a challenge for those low abs. You want to make sure that if you're lifting your hips off the ground, it's not using a ton of momentum. It's just your abs doing it. And relax. Whew, alrighty. So for our last move, we got a boat pose hold. There's a lot of different versions of a boat pose. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. My knees bent. Here we go. Just going to hold it right here. So you're just balancing on your hips. You should be kind of over your tailbone, so you're not sitting up super straight like this. You're kind of curving back. And then to make it harder, you can have your knees straight, but I'm going to have my knees bent. This is getting really hard. You can always kind of have your heels on the ground like this. It's still a really big challenge for your abs. We're almost there. If you want to take a quick break, you can always like have your hands behind your knees really quick just to kind of get a breather and then go back. And relax. Alrighty, so that was round 1. Now we got 2 more rounds. For these rounds, we're going to make the moves a little more fun. So we're going to start with that plank, and we're going to be doing some plank dips. That's where you bring your hips from one side to the other. Here we go. Bring your hips down to one side, come up, other side, and up. And for this one, it's probably best to be in a forearm plank, because being in a plank on your hands, that would be really hard to bring your hips all the way to the ground. Relax. Whew. Alright, next up, we got some side-to-side crunches. These are fun. They're a little bit different. They target your sides of the abs a little bit more. And here we go. We're gonna do basically a crunch, but you're gonna kind of go to the side instead of straight up. And I like to use my hands in front of me, kind of like in that sit-up, to kind of help me go up a little bit easier. But you can always keep your hands behind your head, especially if your neck is kind of hurting. Relax. Come on up. Alright, next up, we got a sit-up with 4 Russian twists on your way down. It's gonna be fun. Here we go. Alright, sit up, and then come down, tap each side 2 times with your hands. So come up, tap, 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 tap. I feel like all these moves are really targeting your obliques. The obliques are the muscles on the sides of your abs. It's really good to get them all toned up. If you want to, you can always lift your heels off the ground for those twists. Make it a little more fun. really getting tired, but that's what we want. All right, relax. Oh, okay. So for this next one, we have a side plank. Thread the needle. This one's kind of killer, but it's okay. We can do this. So for this one, I'm not gonna have my feet stacked. I'm gonna have them like one in front of the other. That makes it a little bit easier, especially for balance. You're gonna bring this top arm, bring it through, and then go up. So you're kind of almost rotating so that your hips are turning towards the ground. Not quite, but almost. And then reach up. And all of a sudden I get really quiet. This is killer. If you want to increase the challenge, go onto your hand. That is really going to make it a lot harder. And relax. Okay, other side. Here we go. We got this. Here we go. Come on up. Make sure to keep these hips high. So when you go back to that side plank, don't let them drop. Keep them nice and high. And relax. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Okay, so for this next one, we're going to be in kind of a boat hold position like I showed earlier. This time we're going to have kind of do something a little different. I'm running out of breath here. We're just going to kick our legs like this in our boat hold. I'm using my hands as support a little bit because it's hard. We're just going to bring kind of like scissor legs, crossing one over the other. And nearly there, guys. You can do this. And relax. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the last move of round 2. We're going to have a reverse crunch, and then we're going to go up with two bicycle crunches. It's pretty simple. Here we go. So do that reverse crunch, and then we're going to do a bicycle crunch like this. Bring your knee to your elbow, lift up, bicycle, bicycle. We only have one round left, guys. We can do this. Alrighty, so for this, we're going to start with 4 mountain climbers to a commando. So that's where you go onto your elbows and then come up to your hands. Here we go. So mountain climber, you're on your hands. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then commando, go into a low plank, and then come up. Some of the upper body involved in this one. got a double crunch. This one's really simple. You're just gonna bring your arms and legs together, or you're gonna have your hands behind your head. You're gonna bring your knees and elbows together and then extend. Or the modification, just bring bent knees to the ground. You can make it. We're nearly there. And relax. Alrighty. Next up, we got these straight legs sit up to a vertical crunch. So in the sit up, try to have your legs straight on the ground, not bent. If you can't do this, it's okay. Just keep your legs bent. Here we go. Come up and then go down. Then bring your legs up, straight, vertical in front of you. And then crunch. And then bring your legs to the ground. Come up. Sit down. Vertical crunch. This is a lot of fun. There's a lot of things moving here, but it's fun. And from that vertical crunch, you can always bring your legs down really slowly like this. As slow as you can till they get to the ground, and relax. That went by fast. That was a lot of fun. Alrighty, next up we just got some side plank hip dips. This one's killer. You can do it. I'm gonna try to do it on my hand, but you don't have to. Alrighty, come on up. I'm just gonna dip my hips down and up. Getting tired. I'm gonna go onto my elbow. My upper body just couldn't hold out. When you're on your elbow, you don't get as big a range of motion. So if it's getting a little easy, try to go onto your hand. Make it a little bit harder for yourself. Really push those hips up towards the ceiling. And relax. Other side. And when you're doing it on your elbow, your hips are going to touch the ground, but try to just like barely let them stay there. Don't just rest on the ground. If you're on your hand, there's less likely of a chance of your hips touching the ground. Here we go. We got 5 seconds left. Keep pushing, guys. Last one. And relax. Okay. Whew. Alrighty. Next up, we got some Russian twists. Really simple. So you're going to go into that boat hold position like this, and then just tap your hands from side to side. If you want, you can cross your legs. I prefer to do that. I'm standing a little more upright for these Russian twists, just because if I was leaning back too much, make it really hard, and I'm really tired right now, so I'm going to keep it a little bit easier. But if you want to, you can extend a little farther back and even straighten out your arms, your legs. Make it really hard. And relax. Alrighty, we got our last move, We're going to do a reverse crunch, and then we're going to do a leg drop. A leg drop is where your legs are straight. You drop them as low as you can while keeping that low back on the ground, and then come up, back up for the reverse crunch. Here we go. Crunch up, straighten out your legs, drop them as low as you can. Come up, crunch. Oh! Use a little too much momentum there. Congratulations guys, you made it to the end. Let's do the cool off because it's the best part of the whole work routine. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to start, flip over, and we're going to a little seal stretch. Really nice to stretch out your abs and your low back after all that. This stretching routine at the end is going to be really short, but if you'd like a little longer stretching routine, I will link my playlist at the end of the video. I really recommend you doing it after this. Alright, so push back into a child's pose. Out of that. Next we're going to go into a butterfly. So bring your feet together in front of you, and you're just going to kind of let your legs get pushed down. You can either use your hands or your elbows and push your legs down. You can reach forward. You can kind of just sit here and move your legs a bit. Whatever feels best. But after all those like reverse crunches, a lot of times your low abs and your hip flexors can kind of take over sometimes. So it's really nice to kind of stretch them out. Alrighty. And then lastly, I know I said this is really short, so again, if you want a longer stretch, I'll link it on the screen. But next we're just going to reach over. Feel a really good stretch, because we did a lot of obliques today. So it's really to stretch out this side of your body. Alright, and switch sides. Alrighty, relax. And that is it for today's video, guys. And for the September workout challenge. It's kind of sad that this is over. It was a lot of fun filming this whole thing. So if you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. And tell me if you want to have more routine or more challenges like this. Also, if you like the routine, because like this routine was really fun and a little bit different from what I normally do. So if you like this style of routine, tell me in the comments below. I will have a poll to make it easier for you. You can just click the poll if you like it or not. But that's it for today's video, guys. I will see you on Saturday, I think, with my next workout. Alright guys, bye.